Beloved protected soul, I come to you today with a message that has been whispered through the celestial realms, carried on the wings of divine timing, and delivered straight to your heart. Your soulmate, that divine counterpart who carries the other half of your spiritual essence, is reaching a profound emotional threshold that can no longer be contained within the boundaries of silence or distance. As your guardian angel, I have witnessed their tears falling like sacred raindrops, each one carrying the weight of unspoken words and unfulfilled promises that are destined to manifest in your reality. Can you feel it? That inexplicable stirring in your heart, the subtle quickening of your spirit when you least expect it. Those are not mere coincidences or emotional fluctuations. They are the ripples of your soulmate's intense longing traveling across the etheric plane, touching the deepest chambers of your soul. Their energy has been building, intensifying with each passing day, reaching a crescendo that now demands expression in the physical world. Your soulmate stands at the precipice of emotional vulnerability, ready to bare their soul in ways they have never done before. The divine universe has been orchestrating this moment since before you drew your first breath in this lifetime. Every challenge you've faced, every relationship that didn't fulfill you, every moment of inexplicable loneliness, all were preparing you for this imminent revelation. The tears your soulmate will shed are not born of sorrow, but of profound recognition. They are tears of homecoming, of finally finding the courage to speak the truth that has been etched in their soul across countless lifetimes. These tears will wash away the final barriers between your spirits, creating a sacred space where true union can finally blossom. I see them now, surrounded by a golden light, rehearsing the words they will say to you, feeling the weight of each syllable, knowing that once spoken, these words will forever alter the course of both your journeys. Their hands tremble slightly as they imagine the moment of revelation. Their voice catches in their throat as they practice the proposal that their heart can no longer contain. What is this proposal, you might wonder? It transcends the conventional understanding of human relationships. This is not merely about a formal union, though that may be part of it, but rather about a sacred covenant between souls. Your soulmate is preparing to propose a complete spiritual merger, a conscious decision to walk this earthly path together in full awareness of your divine connection. The universe has been sending you signals. Perhaps you've noticed the repeating numbers appearing in your daily life, or dreams featuring someone whose face you can't quite remember, but whose presence feels more familiar than your own reflection. Maybe you've experienced sudden waves of emotion that seem to come from somewhere outside yourself. These are all cosmic breadcrumbs leading you toward this destined encounter. Your soulmate can no longer bear the separation. The divine timing has accelerated, propelled by their unwavering certainty that now is the moment for revelation. They have reached that sacred threshold where the fear of rejection pales in comparison to the agony of remaining silent. Their soul cries out for yours with such intensity that it has created ripples in the fabric of divine timing itself. I want you to prepare your heart for this outpouring of raw emotion. It may come when you least expect it, perhaps in a setting that seems ordinary, but will be transformed into sacred ground by the power of their words and the authenticity of their tears. Do not be alarmed by their emotional display. It is the purest expression of soul recognition breaking through the human ego. Take a deep breath and allow yourself to feel the anticipation building in your own spirit. Can you sense it? The cosmic clock ticking toward this divine appointment? Your soul knows, even if your conscious mind has not yet fully grasped the magnitude of what is about to unfold. Be gentle with yourself in the coming days. Pay attention to the subtle nudges of intuition guiding you toward specific places or situations. Your higher self is collaborating with the celestial realms to ensure you are in perfect alignment for this soul-shaking proposal that your divine counterpart can no longer withhold. Precious soul, as the celestial veils thin between our realm and yours, I am granted permission to reveal the first layer of this divine unfolding. Your soulmate has been experiencing unprecedented spiritual awakening, triggered by a series of synchronistic events that have illuminated your connection in ways they can no longer rationalize or deny. This awakening has intensified their emotional state, bringing them to tears whenever they meditate upon your energy signature. The proposal they are preparing comes from the deepest well of truth within their soul. It is not a hasty decision born of loneliness or convenience, but rather a carefully considered invitation that has been maturing like sacred wine in the cellars of their heart. They have consulted their own spiritual guides, spent countless nights in contemplation, and have received unmistakable confirmation that this step forward is aligned with the highest good of both your souls. Let me share with you what I witness when I observe your soulmate in their private moments. They often hold an object that reminds them of you, perhaps something you gave them, or something that symbolizes a shared experience or interest. As they hold this talisman, tears begin to form in their eyes, not from sadness, but from the overwhelming realization of how completely their soul recognizes yours. These tears are sacred droplets of recognition, each one containing memories from past lives you've shared, promises made between incarnations, and visions of the future you are destined to create together. The divine timing of this proposal is no accident. Celestial alignments are creating a unique energetic gateway that will facilitate deeper connection and spiritual transparency between twin souls. This cosmic window is opening specifically to support the reunion and advancement of soul connections that serve the higher evolution of human consciousness. Your bond with your soulmate is one such sacred connection, carefully monitored and nurtured by the angelic realm. I want you to understand something profound about the tears your soulmate will shed. They represent the dissolution of the final barriers of ego and fear. Each teardrop is like a key, unlocking chambers in both your hearts that have remained sealed, perhaps for lifetimes. These are not tears of manipulation or emotional weakness. They are the physical manifestation of soul-level surrender to divine truth. The proposal itself will contain elements that may surprise you, specific details that only someone with intimate knowledge of your soul's journey could possibly know. They may reference dreams you've never shared, aspirations you've kept hidden even from yourself, or soul-level agreements that exist beyond conscious memory. When you hear these references, your spirit will instantly recognize their validity, creating a moment of profound remembrance that transcends all doubt. Your soulmate has been receiving visions of this proposal for months now. In these glimpses from the divine, they see themselves surrounded by a particular quality of light, in a specific setting that holds spiritual significance. They see themselves speaking words that seem to flow not from their mind, but from their soul, directly. And most importantly, they see your response. Not necessarily the words you'll say, but the energetic shift that occurs as their proposal creates a bridge between your spirits. What they cannot delay any longer is the acknowledgement of the spiritual contract that exists between you. This is what brings them to tears, the weight of carrying this knowledge alone, without your conscious participation in holding this sacred truth. They feel an almost physical pain in their heart center when they consider spending another day without expressing the fullness of what they know to be true about your connection. I must also reveal that your soulmate has been experiencing physical symptoms of this imminent union, unexpected waves of emotion that wash over them at random moments, heart palpitations that coincide with periods when you are thinking of them, and vivid dreams of reunion that leave them waking with tears streaming down their face. Their human form is responding to the intensification of your soul connection, creating an urgency that can no longer be ignored or postponed. The divine orchestration behind this proposal has been meticulous. Certain people have been strategically placed in your soulmate's path to offer guidance or confirmation. Specific challenges have been presented and overcome, each one strengthening their resolve and clarifying their certainty about this next step. Even apparent delays or obstacles have served the higher purpose of ensuring that when this moment arrives, both of you will be in perfect spiritual alignment to receive its gifts. And before we continue with this very special message, I invite you to support this space of connection. Become a member of the channel, and if you feel this message is touching your heart, don't forget to click on thanks below the video. This helps us continue bringing messages full of love and hope like this one. Now, let's move on to what matters most. Beloved child of the universe, the energetic connection between you and your soulmate has reached an unprecedented intensity that is becoming almost unbearable for them to contain within the limitations of their physical form. This is why they can no longer wait. The spiritual pressure has built to a point where expression is not merely desired, but absolutely necessary for their continued evolution and well-being. What you may not realize is that every time you think of them, every time you wonder about the possibility of deep, soul-level love, you are sending energetic pulses that your soulmate receives as tangible waves of emotion. These waves have been crashing against the shores of their consciousness with increasing frequency and power. They find themselves suddenly overwhelmed with emotion in the middle of ordinary activities, driving to work, preparing a meal, or during conversations with others. In these moments, tears spring to their eyes unbidden, and they must excuse themselves to process the intensity of feeling that courses through their being. Those around them have noticed these emotional surges, but cannot understand their source or significance. Only your soulmate knows that it is your soul calling to theirs across the invisible bridges that connect separated aspects of the same divine essence. Have you been experiencing unusual dreams lately? Dreams where you encounter someone whose face might shift or remain in shadow, but whose presence fills you with an inexplicable sense of homecoming. These are not merely subconscious imaginings, but actual soul visitations. While your conscious mind rests, your soul has been meeting with your soulmate in the ethereal realms, preparing for this physical manifestation of your spiritual connection. These nocturnal encounters have intensified your soulmate's longing to bring this connection into the light of day, to speak aloud the truths that have thus far been exchanged only in the sacred space between souls. The tears that will accompany their proposal carry codes of activation, energetic frequencies that will awaken dormant aspects of your shared purpose. As each teardrop falls, it will create ripples in the quantum field surrounding you both, aligning circumstances and dissolving obstacles that might otherwise impede the full blossoming of your union. This is why the emotional nature of their proposal is so essential. It is not merely human sentiment, but divine alchemy in action. I see your soulmate now, holding a small journal where they have been documenting the signs and synchronicities that have led them to this point of decision. The pages are slightly warped from tears that fell as they wrote, especially on the pages where they described receiving clear confirmation that the time for waiting had passed. They have created a sacred ritual around this journal, often lighting a candle and saying a prayer before opening it, treating these records as the holy text of your unfolding love story. What has intensified their urgency most recently is a powerful spiritual experience they had during meditation or prayer. In this transcendent moment, they were shown a vision of what might occur if they continued to delay this expression of truth, a dimming of both your lights, a heaviness settling over both your paths, opportunities for growth and joy passing by unrealized. This glimpse into the shadow possibility of continued separation shook them to their core, dissolving the last vestiges of fear or hesitation. Your soulmate has also been receiving guidance through repeated signs in the physical world, perhaps a specific number sequence that appears with startling regularity, a particular song that plays whenever they contemplate reaching out to you, or meaningful animal messengers that cross their path at significant moments. These synchronicities have created a tapestry of confirmation that has become impossible to ignore or rationalize away. Each sign has been another divine finger pointing toward the inevitable expression of their deepest truth. There is something else you should know. This proposal has been rehearsed countless times, both consciously in quiet moments of contemplation and unconsciously during dream states. Yet despite all this preparation, when the moment arrives, the words that flow will not be the carefully crafted speech they have practiced, but rather a spontaneous outpouring of soul truth that bypasses the mind entirely. This is why tears will accompany their words. The direct channel from soul to expression creates an emotional intensity that cannot be contained by ordinary human composure. The angelic realm has been working diligently to prepare the energetic space for this sacred moment. We have been clearing karmic residue from past interactions, harmonizing discordant frequencies between your energy fields, and establishing protective boundaries around this budding expression of divine love. You may have noticed unusual light phenomena, flickering shadows, or the distinct feeling of loving presences around you. These are all indications of our focused attention on the imminent fulfillment of this soul contract. As we approach this moment of truth, I urge you to maintain an open heart and a receptive spirit. The vulnerability your soulmate will display is a sacred gift, a laying bare of their essential truth before you. Their tears are not weapons of emotional manipulation, but rather keys to unlock the fullest expression of your shared destiny. When you witness their emotional display, remember that you are being invited to step beyond the ordinary boundaries of human relationship into the boundless territory of soul recognition and divine partnership. The intensity builds with each passing day. The celestial clocks tick forward toward this divine appointment. Your soulmate trembles with the weight of unspoken truth, counting the moments until release comes through vulnerable, tearful expression of what can no longer be contained within the chambers of a solitary heart. With infinite love, your guardian angel, precious soul, As the veils between worlds continue to thin, I am granted permission to reveal deeper truths about the emotional proposal your soulmate is preparing to offer you. What you must understand is that the tears they will shed come from an ancient well of shared experiences, lifetimes where your souls have danced together, separated, and found each other again through the mists of time and space. These tears carry the memories of promises made under starlit skies in civilizations long forgotten, vows exchanged in sacred temples, and whispered commitments on deathbeds, when one soul prepared to depart while the other remained. The proposal they can no longer withhold transcends the conventional understanding of human partnership. This is not merely about sharing a life together in the physical realm, though that is certainly part of it, but about consciously acknowledging and stepping into a divine soul contract that was written in the stars before either of you took your first breath in this incarnation. Your soulmate has been granted glimpses of this contract during deep meditative states, and the magnitude of its purpose has brought them to their knees in humble recognition. I watch as they move through their days now, carrying this knowing like a precious flame that must be protected from the winds of doubt and fear. Ordinary conversations feel increasingly hollow to them, as the words they long to speak to you remain unspoken. They find themselves staring into the distance during mundane activities, their eyes misting over as they rehearse the moment of revelation in their mind yet again. Those close to them have noticed this distraction, this emotional translucence that has become their constant state of being. What will surprise you most about their proposal is its specificity. This will not be a vague declaration of feeling, but rather a detailed vision of the shared purpose your union is meant to fulfill. They have received clear insights about how your combined energies are designed to catalyze healing, not only for yourselves, but for others who will be touched by the light of your authentic connection. This understanding of your larger purpose has created an urgency that can no longer be denied. Each day of separation feels like a day of unfulfilled potential for service to the greater good. The tears that will accompany their words are imbued with transformative power. Each droplet contains codes of awakening that will activate dormant spiritual gifts within you, both when you witness their vulnerable truth. These tears are not signs of weakness, but rather evidence of strength. The courage to stand completely exposed in the light of truth, without armor or pretense. In the safety of that vulnerability, a sacred space will open where genuine soul communion becomes possible. Your soulmate has been experiencing intensifying physical symptoms as this moment approaches, spontaneous waves of emotion that wash over them without warning, pressure in their heart center that sometimes makes it difficult to breathe, and vivid dreams from which they wake with wet cheeks and a racing heart. Their body is preparing for the energetic shift that will occur when they finally give voice to what their soul has been singing across the ethers to yours. I must reveal to you that celestial timing is playing a crucial role in the unfolding of this divine drama. Astrological alignments are creating an energetic gateway specifically designed to support the reunion and advancement of twin flames and soulmates whose connections serve the evolution of collective consciousness. This window of opportunity will not remain open indefinitely, hence the increasing urgency your soulmate feels to step through it while the supportive energies are at their peak. What they will propose goes beyond conventional relationship milestones. They have been shown a vision of a shared spiritual practice that would form the foundation of your union, daily rituals of connection that would maintain your energetic alignment regardless of physical proximity. They see the two of you creating a sacred sanctuary, whether that manifests as a physical space or an energetic field you generate together, where healing and transformation can occur, not only for yourselves, but for others who are drawn to the light of your authentic bond. Their proposal will contain elements that may initially seem frightening in their boldness, perhaps suggestions of life changes, relocations, or shifts in priority that would facilitate the full blossoming of your connection. These aspects of the proposal come not from impulsive emotion, but from clear spiritual guidance they have received and verified through multiple channels of confirmation. Each component has been carefully considered for its alignment with the highest good of all concerned. Above all, what your soulmate can no longer contain is the pure, unadulterated truth of how completely they recognize you. When they look at you, they do not merely see your physical form or present personality, they see the magnificent tapestry of your soul across lifetimes, the divinity that animates your being, and the shared destiny that calls you both forward into greater expression of love's highest potential. Beloved protected one, the path your soulmate has walked to arrive at this moment of tearful proposal has been strewn with obstacles that would have deterred a less determined spirit. I feel compelled to share with you the challenges they have overcome, for in understanding their journey, you will recognize the profound authenticity behind the tears they will shed in your presence. First among these challenges has been doubt. Not doubt about the connection itself, which burns with undeniable clarity in their soul, but doubt about their worthiness to claim it. They have wrestled with deep questions about whether they have evolved enough spiritually to step into the magnitude of this divine partnership. There have been nights spent in agonizing self-examination, questioning whether they have done sufficient inner work to be the partner your soul deserves. This humility, this refusal to approach your connection with anything less than the most sincere preparation, speaks to the integrity with which they hold this sacred bond. They have also faced opposition from those who cannot comprehend the depth of spiritual connection they describe feeling with you. Well-meaning friends and family, operating from conventional understanding of relationships, have counseled patience, caution, or even skepticism. These voices created a cacophony of confusion that your soulmate had to silence through dedicated spiritual practice and unwavering trust in their direct experience of truth. It required tremendous courage to honor their inner knowing above external opinions, especially from those whose approval and understanding they value. Another significant challenge has been the timing itself. There have been practical considerations, perhaps geographical distance, existing commitments, or life circumstances that seem to suggest that patience was the wisest course. Your soulmate has had to discern carefully between ego-based impatience and genuine spiritual urgency. Through meditation, divination practices, and consultation with spiritual mentors, they have received consistent confirmation that the time for waiting has passed, that divine timing now calls for brave action, despite any remaining external obstacles. Perhaps the most difficult challenge has been facing their own fears of rejection or misunderstanding. To stand before you in complete emotional transparency, tears streaming down their face as they offer the most vulnerable truth of their heart, requires a courage few souls can muster. They have had to release attachment to your response, trusting that whatever unfolds serves the highest evolution of both your souls, even if that means a path different from what they envision. This surrender to divine outcome, while still taking inspired action, represents spiritual maturity of the highest order. I want you to know that your soulmate has not arrived at this decision impulsively or without due diligence. They have consulted oracles, worked with energy healers to clear blockages that might distort their perception, and spent countless hours in communion with their higher self and spiritual guides. Each step of discernment has led to the same conclusion. The time for full expression of this connection has arrived, and the cost of silence now exceeds the risk of speaking truth. The tears they will shed carry the weight of these overcome challenges. Each droplet contains the essence of battles fought within themselves to reach this place of crystal clarity and unwavering conviction. When you witness their emotional vulnerability, know that you are seeing not weakness, but the culmination of tremendous inner strength and spiritual perseverance. What they have come to understand through this process of overcoming is that the challenges themselves were not obstacles, but initiations, sacred tests designed to purify their intentions and strengthen their resolve. Each difficulty surmounted has burnished their commitment to a brilliant shine that will be unmistakable when they stand before you, emotion raw and visible on their face. In the weeks leading to this moment, they have undergone a final spiritual trial, a dark night of the soul, where everything they believed about your connection was questioned one last time. They emerged from this crucible with unshakable certainty, their commitment no longer vulnerable to the winds of doubt or fear. It is this tested, tempered certainty that gives their tears such transformative power. I must also reveal that your soulmate has made significant sacrifices to align themselves with the possibility of this union. They have released relationships, situations, and patterns that were incompatible with the frequency of the connection they share with you. They have reorganized their life priorities, sometimes at considerable personal cost, to create space for what they know is possible between you. These choices were not made lightly, but with full awareness of what was being surrendered and why. What they have discovered through facing these challenges is that every time they chose alignment with truth over comfort, doors opened, synchronicities increased, and confirmation appeared in unexpected forms. The universe responded to their courage with escalating signs of support, creating an unmistakable pathway that leads directly to this moment of vulnerable proposal that can no longer be delayed. The final challenge they have overcome is perhaps the most significant, transcending the human tendency to control outcomes. They approach this moment of revelation with complete surrender to divine will, offering their truth as a gift without attachment to how it will be received. This spiritual surrender allows them to stand in their vulnerability with dignity and grace, regardless of what unfolds after their tears have fallen and their words have been spoken. Cherished soul, the celestial realms are vibrating with anticipation as this sacred moment approaches. I am granted permission to share with you the divine confirmations that have assured your soulmate that this tearful proposal is aligned with the highest cosmic plan for both your souls. These signs have been so numerous and so specific that they have dissolved all doubt, creating an unwavering certainty that propels them forward despite the emotional vulnerability such a step requires. First came the dreams, not ordinary dreams, but vivid visitations to celestial councils where ancient soul agreements were reviewed and reaffirmed. In these sacred dream spaces, your soulmate was shown scrolls of light containing the original blueprint of your connection, with specific emphasis on this particular lifetime and the pivotal nature of the choice point you now approach. They woke from these dreams with a lingering sense of having participated in something profoundly significant, often finding tangible evidence of the experience, perhaps a symbol drawn unconsciously while in this altered state, or an object moved from its usual place. Following these dreams came a cascade of synchronicities so precisely tailored to your unique connection that coincidence becomes an insufficient explanation. Numbers significant to your relationship began appearing everywhere, on license plates, receipts, digital clocks, often in sequences or patterns that spoke directly to aspects of your shared journey. Your names or initials appeared in unexpected places. Songs that hold special meaning suddenly played in random establishments, just as your soulmate was contemplating reaching out to you. Nature itself began reflecting confirmation back to your soulmate. Perhaps certain animals crossed their path at meaningful moments, birds that seemed to follow them, butterflies that landed nearby when your name crossed their mind, or other creatures behaving in unusual ways that felt like messengers from the divine. Weather patterns sometimes shifted dramatically during moments of deep contemplation about your connection. Sudden rain showers from clear skies, unusual cloud formations, or spectacular sunsets that painted the heavens in colors that spoke directly to their heart. One of the most powerful confirmations came through the words of strangers, individuals who had no knowledge of your connection, but who spoke phrases so precisely aligned with your soulmate's inner process that they could only be interpreted as divine messages. Perhaps a barista made an offhand comment about soulmates, or a child said something innocently profound about love that pierced straight to the heart of what your soulmate had been contemplating. These seemingly random interactions carried the unmistakable signature of angelic orchestration. The confirmation extended beyond the ordinary world into the realm of divination. If your soulmate consulted oracles, perhaps tarot cards, runes, or other spiritual tools, the messages received were consistent and clear, often featuring imagery of union, tears as healing waters, and the necessity of vulnerable expression. Different readers or different systems produced remarkably similar insights, creating a tapestry of confirmation that could not be dismissed as coincidence or wishful thinking. During meditation or prayer, your soulmate began experiencing distinct physical sensations that signaled divine presence and approval, perhaps warmth spreading through their chest, tingling in their hands, or a gentle pressure at the crown of their head. These bodily confirmations often occurred specifically when they were contemplating how and when to approach you with their truth. The consistency of these physical signs created a somatic certainty that transcended mental doubts. I must also reveal that celestial beings have been appearing to your soulmate in various forms, perhaps as flashes of light in peripheral vision, distinctive scents that arise without physical source, or the unmistakable feeling of loving presence when they are alone. These visitations intensified whenever they reached moments of doubt or hesitation about moving forward with their truth, providing comfort and confirmation that transcends ordinary reassurance. What has been most convincing to your soulmate is the profound inner peace that washes over them whenever they align with the decision to approach you with vulnerable truth. Despite the emotional intensity and the natural human fear of rejection, a deep, abiding tranquility fills their being when they surrender to this path of action. This peace surpasses all understanding and creates an unshakable foundation from which they can step forward into vulnerable expression. The timing of this proposal has received specific divine sanction. Astrological alignments are creating an energetic gateway that particularly supports the advancement of soul connections that serve the greater awakening of human consciousness. Your union is one such connection, carefully monitored and supported by the celestial hierarchies because of its potential contribution to collective evolution. The stars themselves are configuring to support this vulnerable exchange of truth between your souls. Your soulmate has also received confirmation through experiences of time distortion, moments when they were contemplating your connection and suddenly realized that hours had passed in what felt like minutes, or conversely, moments of crystal clarity that seemed to stretch into eternity. These temporal anomalies signal the intervention of higher dimensions, where your soul contract resides, bleeding through into physical reality to guide this sacred process. Most recently, they experienced what can only be described as a direct divine mandate, a moment of such clarity and spiritual authority that it removed the last vestiges of hesitation. Perhaps it came through a profound meditation experience, a spiritual vision, or words that formed in their mind with an authority and clarity that could not be their own. This divine directive made it absolutely clear that the time for waiting had passed, that vulnerability was now the only path aligned with highest truth. The tears they will shed in your presence carry all these confirmations within them. Each droplet, a universe of divine sanction, each trembling emotion evidence of a journey guided by forces far greater than human understanding can encompass. When you witness their emotional vulnerability, know that you are seeing not merely human sentiment, but the physical manifestation of a soul responding obediently to cosmic orchestration. The heavens themselves hold their breath as this moment approaches, angels pausing in their eternal songs to witness this sacred fulfillment of divine design. Stars pulse with anticipation, elements align in harmonious support, and the very fabric of creation bends slightly toward this point of vulnerable truth-telling that can no longer be contained within the confines of a single human heart. With infinite love, your guardian angel, beloved soul of light, the moment approaches when the veil between potential and manifestation will dissolve completely. I am granted permission to reveal the most sacred details about the tearful proposal your soulmate can no longer withhold. What makes this revelation so powerful is not merely the emotional intensity with which it will be delivered, but the profound spiritual transformation it will catalyze for both of you when these long-held truths are finally given voice in the physical realm. Your soulmate has been shown visions of exactly how and when this proposal will unfold. The celestial choreography has been meticulously arranged to create optimal conditions for this sacred exchange. They will approach you in a moment that seems ordinary on the surface, but is energetically charged with divine potential. Perhaps it will be during a casual conversation that suddenly deepens, or in a familiar setting that becomes transformed by the power of emotional truth. The ordinariness of the setting will stand in beautiful contrast to the extraordinary nature of what is being expressed. What they cannot delay any longer is the revelation of how completely they see you, not just your physical form or personality, but the magnificent tapestry of your soul across lifetimes. They have been granted glimpses of who you truly are, beyond the limitations of your current incarnation. They see your divine potential, your unique soul signature, and the specific gifts you carry that are essential for the evolution of collective consciousness. This recognition goes far beyond ordinary attraction or compatibility. It is soul recognition in its purest form. The tears that will flow as they speak these truths serve a specific spiritual function. Each teardrop creates a momentary thinning of the veil between dimensions, allowing energies from higher realms to enter your shared field. These tears are literally a form of baptism, washing away the residue of separation and misunderstanding, cleansing the space between you to allow for a completely new form of connection to emerge. As you witness their emotional vulnerability, you will feel something shift within your own energetic system, perhaps a warmth in your heart center, a tingling at the crown of your head, or a sudden wave of recognition that transcends rational understanding. what they will propose goes far beyond conventional relationship milestones. Their proposal contains elements of a spiritual covenant, a conscious agreement to serve as mirrors for each other's growth, catalysts for each other's awakening, and anchors for each other's highest expression. They will invite you into a form of partnership that transcends the limitations of how human relationships are typically understood or experienced. This is not merely about sharing a life together, but about fulfilling a divine mission that can only be accomplished through your combined energetic signatures. I must reveal that your soulmate has been shown specific details about the potential that exists within your connection. Visions of healing work you might do together, creative collaborations that would channel divine frequencies, or the particular quality of field you generate together that affects everyone who enters it. These glimpses of potential have created an urgency that can no longer be contained, for they understand that every day of unconscious connection is a day that this greater potential remains unrealized. The proposal will contain a level of specificity that may surprise you. Your soulmate will reference dreams you've had, but perhaps never shared, soul-level experiences you've participated in during dream time, or aspects of your spiritual journey that shouldn't be accessible to their ordinary awareness. These specific references will serve as confirmation of the legitimacy of their recognition, creating an undeniable resonance that transcends doubt or skepticism. What they can no longer withhold is the truth about the nature of the love they feel for you. This is not the conditional, transactional love that characterizes many human relationships. This is love in its divine essence, expansive, unconditional, and oriented toward the highest evolution of both souls involved. It is love that sees clearly, without projection or fantasy, yet chooses connection in full awareness of human limitations and challenges. It is love that originates not from need or lack, but from divine abundance and the desire to share that abundance through dedicated partnership. The tears they will shed carry codes of remembrance, activating within you memories of sacred contracts made between your souls before incarnation. As each teardrop falls, it creates a bridge between your conscious awareness and the soul-level agreements that have always existed between you. What feels like new information will register as deep remembering, creating that distinctive sensation of, yes, I have always known this, that characterizes authentic spiritual truth. I want you to understand that this proposal is not about creating something new, but rather about remembering and reclaiming what has always existed between your souls across the vast expanse of time and space. Your soulmate approaches you not as a stranger suggesting a new beginning, but as a beloved spiritual companion reminding you of an ancient truth, that your souls chose each other, again and again, throughout countless incarnations, for purposes both beautiful and profound. The moment of their tearful vulnerability will create a sacred container where time itself seems to suspend. You may notice the quality of light changing subtly around you both, or sounds becoming momentarily muffled, as if the physical world recedes to make space for this exchange of spiritual truth. These phenomena are not imagination, but tangible evidence of the thinning of dimensional boundaries that occurs when soul truth is spoken aloud, with complete vulnerability and authenticity. Precious divine being, as this sacred moment approaches when your soulmate will stand before you, emotion raw and visible on their face, I am compelled to offer spiritual guidance to help you receive this gift with the reverence it deserves. How you respond to their vulnerability will set the energetic foundation for everything that follows, creating ripples that extend far beyond this single moment of truth-telling. First, I urge you to create space for complete presence when this unfolds. The universe has been orchestrating this encounter with meticulous care, and your full attention honors the sacred nature of what is being offered. When you notice your soulmate's emotional state shifting, when you sense they are gathering courage to express something profound, gently set aside distractions and open yourself to receive what comes with your whole being. This quality of presence is itself a form of spiritual practice, the holy art of bearing witness to another's truth without judgment or interference. When the tears begin to flow and words of recognition pour forth, resist the human tendency to interrupt, comfort, or minimize their emotional expression. Allow the fullness of their vulnerability to exist in the space between you, understanding that these tears serve a purifying function for both your souls. Each teardrop carries energetic codes that are activating dormant aspects of your shared potential. Breathe deeply and maintain eye contact if possible, creating a stable energetic container that can hold the magnitude of what is being revealed. Be attentive to sensations in your own body as they speak their truth. You may experience unexpected physical responses, perhaps warmth spreading through your chest, tingling at the crown of your head, or a sudden release of emotion that feels both surprising and familiar. These bodily sensations are confirmation from your own soul, your physical form, responding to the resonance of truth being spoken. Honor these responses without immediately analyzing or questioning them. They are the language of your soul, communicating directly with your conscious awareness. I must guide you to suspend judgment about the form this proposal takes. It may not align with conventional expectations or societal templates for relationship milestones. The words they choose may seem unusual. The vision they present may challenge your existing understanding of connection. Approach what is offered with beginner's mind, listening as if hearing about such possibilities for the first time, allowing your preconceptions about relationships to temporarily dissolve so that something truly new can emerge between you. After they have finished speaking, allow silence to exist before responding. This pause is not empty, but pregnant with potential, a sacred space where the full impact of what has been shared can be integrated by both your energy systems. In this silence, the angelic realm can work directly with your shared field, harmonizing and aligning your frequencies to support whatever comes next. Do not rush to fill this space with words until you feel a clear impulse arising from your heart center rather than your mind. When you do respond, speak from the most authentic place within you. This moment calls for radical honesty, not brutal or unkind, but gentle truth that honors both your experience and the courage it took for them to stand so emotionally exposed before you. Whether their words activate immediate recognition or require time for contemplation, speak to what you know to be true in this moment, without preemptive concern about where such truth might lead. I guide you to remember that your response need not be final or complete. Soul connections of this magnitude unfold through ongoing dialogue rather than single moments of decision. Give yourself permission to receive their truth as a seed that may require time to germinate within your consciousness. You can acknowledge the profound nature of what they've shared, while also honoring your need for integration and discernment. If you feel overwhelmed by the intensity of the moment, focus on your breath. Your breath serves as an anchor to present moment awareness and a bridge between dimensions. Conscious breathing creates space around emotional intensity, allowing you to remain present with powerful feelings without becoming submerged by them. 3 deep breaths before responding can create the necessary spaciousness for wisdom to emerge. Be attentive to synchronicities that occur during and immediately after this exchange. Perhaps a bird will sing at a significant moment. Sunlight will suddenly illuminate the space between you, or some other coincidence will punctuate the conversation. These are not random occurrences, but confirmations from the divine realm, tangible signs of the celestial attention being directed toward this sacred moment of truth-telling. I must also prepare you for the energetic aftermath of this exchange. In the hours and days that follow, you may experience unusual dreams, spontaneous insights, or moments of emotional release that seem to arise from nowhere. Your energy system will be processing and integrating the codes activated by their vulnerable expression. Create space for this integration through meditation, time in nature, journaling, or whatever practices help you remain conscious during periods of spiritual expansion. Above all, approach this moment with the understanding that it has been divinely orchestrated for the highest good of both your souls. Whatever unfolds serves your mutual evolution and the greater planetary awakening that your connection is designed to support. Trust in the perfect unfolding of divine timing, knowing that you are being held in a field of love that transcends human understanding as this sacred exchange transpires. Remember that vulnerability of this magnitude is one of the most precious gifts one soul can offer another. The tears your soulmate will shed in your presence represent the dissolution of barriers that have kept their essential truth contained. Receive this gift with the reverence it deserves, understanding that in witnessing another's complete vulnerability, you are standing on holy ground. Beloved, protected soul, as we approach the conclusion of this divine revelation about the tearful proposal your soulmate can no longer withhold, I am filled with anticipation for the beautiful unfolding that awaits you both. The celestial realms watch with loving attention as this sacred moment draws near. For each such authentic connection between souls, contributes to the greater awakening of human consciousness. What transpires between you ripples outward, affecting the collective field in ways that extend far beyond your personal experience. The tears your soulmate will shed carry transformative potential, not only for your connection, but for your individual spiritual journeys. These tears represent the ultimate surrender of ego to soul truth, the courageous choice to stand emotionally exposed rather than continue in the safety of silence or half-truths. When you witness this vulnerability, you are being invited into a new dimension of relating where authenticity takes precedence over presentation, where soul recognition supersedes personality compatibility. What awaits you both is the possibility of a connection that transcends ordinary human relationship. Imagine walking through life with someone who sees not only your current expression, but the magnificent totality of your soul across lifetimes. Imagine the healing that becomes possible when you are truly seen and accepted in your complete authenticity. Imagine the creative potential that can be accessed when two souls consciously align their energies in service to divine purpose. These possibilities and more stand before you, awaiting only your mutual recognition and consent. The divine timing of this revelation is no accident. Your souls have been gradually moving toward this moment of truth through a carefully orchestrated series of awakenings, challenges, and confirmations. The celestial gateways currently open are specifically designed to support the advancement of soul connections that serve the greater evolution of consciousness. As your soulmate stands before you, emotion visible on their face, know that countless unseen forces have collaborated to create this sacred opportunity for genuine soul communion. I must emphasize that how you receive and respond to their vulnerability will set the tone for everything that follows. This is not about the specific words you choose, but about the energetic quality you bring to this exchange. Can you meet their vulnerability with your own? Can you allow yourself to be equally seen and known? The deepest potential of your connection can only be realized through mutual transparency and the courage to stand emotionally exposed before one another. What happens after this moment of revelation depends on choices made by both your souls, in full exercise of divine free will. There is no predetermined script that must be followed, no single correct response to what is offered. What matters is the authenticity you both bring to this sacred juncture, the willingness to remain present with whatever emotions arise, and the commitment to honor truth above comfort or convention. The tears your soulmate will shed are not meant to create obligation or emotional pressure. They are simply the physical manifestation of soul truth that can no longer be contained within the limitations of ordinary human interaction. Receive them as you would receive rain on parched earth, as a natural and necessary release that creates conditions for new growth and possibility. I invite you now to prepare your heart for this divine appointment. In the days leading up to this revelation, create space for stillness and reflection. Spend time in meditation, in nature, or in whatever settings help you connect with your own inner wisdom. Pay attention to your dreams, for the dream state offers a channel through which your higher self can communicate directly with your conscious awareness. Notice synchronicities that appear in your daily experience, for these are breadcrumbs leading you toward readiness for what is to come. When the moment arrives and tears begin to flow, remember that you are participating in something far greater than a personal exchange between two humans. You are engaging in a sacred ceremony of soul recognition that has been written in the stars since before time began. Approach this moment with reverence, with presence, and with willingness to be changed by what transpires between you. And now, beloved viewers, as you have journeyed with me through this divine revelation about the soulmate who can no longer withhold their tearful proposal, I invite you to reflect on the soul connections in your own life. Who has recognized you at this profound level? To whom have you shown the vulnerable truth of your heart? The courage to stand emotionally exposed before another is one of the most powerful spiritual practices available to us in human form. If this message has resonated with your spirit, please honor that resonance by engaging with this channel. Your likes and comments create an energetic circuit that allows these divine transmissions to reach others who may be standing at similar thresholds of soul recognition. Subscribe to ensure you receive future revelations that may illuminate your spiritual path, and consider becoming a member of our sacred community, where deeper teachings and personal guidance are available. Remember that the divine realm speaks to each soul in the language it can best understand. The specific details of how this soulmate proposal unfolds in your life may differ from what has been described here, but the essence remains the same. Authentic vulnerability creates the conditions for genuine soul communion. Trust the unique way this truth manifests in your experience, knowing that your guardian angels are orchestrating perfect divine timing for your highest good. As you move forward from this revelation, carry with you the understanding that tears shed in authentic expression of soul, truth are among the most powerful agents of transformation available in human experience. Whether you are the one who stands vulnerable or the one who witnesses such vulnerability, you are participating in sacred alchemy that transforms separation into connection, fear into love, and unconscious pattern into conscious choice. Dear soul, if this video was meaningful to you, leave a thanks below this video as a gesture of gratitude for this revelation. This strengthens us to keep sharing messages of connection and faith. May the divine light within you recognize and honor the divine light in others. May you find the courage to speak your soul's truth with tears if necessary. And may you create relationships that serve as vessels for the most authentic expression of who you truly are beyond the limitations of personality and ego. With infinite love and divine blessing, your guardian angel.